Attention all beer lovers or friends of beer lovers. Well, and of course card makers. Today I have a pop-up beer mug card design that I want to share with you. It's a fun and simple little card idea for any beer lover, but it definitely makes a great masculine style card. Hi, it's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this episode of Stamptastic TV, you will learn how to make a pop-up beer card. Plus, I will share 3 different tips for creating the suds or the foam on the top of the beer. We will use an easel style card design to help pop up the beer mug on this card. By the end of this video, you will have a fun masculine beer mug card design and 3 different tips for using some supplies that you may already have on hand to create the suds. No special stamp set is required. For the latest card making ideas, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click on that little bell so you will be notified each time I upload a new video. Now, if you are a beer lover or know someone that is, give me a thumbs up and let's get started. Okay, so first let's talk about the supplies that you will need to create these cards. You will need some black, white, gray, and crushed curry cardstock. The black will be used for the base of your cards and the other colors will be used as the accent pieces. You will also need some type of punch or die cuts to create the foam or the suds on the beer. So there's a couple of different things you can use to create the suds, such as circle punches. You can also use die cuts, whether there's circle die cuts, scallop circle die cuts, or you can use these die cuts. These are the die cuts from the Up and Away Thinlits die set. And in particular, I used the little cloud images, so I used this one and this one to create the suds on one of the cards that I'm going to share with you today. But I also used this piece from this set to help me create the handle for the mug. So I'll show you how to do that. And if you don't have this die set, I will also give you a couple tips on how to create the handle without it. You will also need some oval Thinlit dies, or a punch would work just fine. And I will also show you how to use some of the embossing paste to create the foam on the beer. So that is optional. You will also need some type of corner round punch. So for these projects, I'm using the detailed trio punch and I'm using the corner round section on that punch. Now, no special stamp set is required for these projects. So I'm using the Happy Birthday sentiment out of this particular stamp set, but you can use any stamp set that you want. And the last thing you will need is some ink. So for these cards, I am using some basic gray and crushed curry. Oh, and you will also need a little sponge. Okay, I think that's it. We're ready to get started. So we will start by creating the base of the card first. This is the easel card design that will allow us to pop up the beer mug on our card. So start with a piece of basic black cardstock cut at 4 1/4 by 11 inches. Score the 11-inch side at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2 inches to create the base of your card. Fold on all the score lines to create the easel for this card. Now when you fold on the 2 3/4 inch score line, you're going to be creating a little tent on the top of your card. This little 2 3/4 by 4 1/4 inch section is what will be used to pop up and support the front piece of the card. So now you can lay the card back down so that it's flat in front of you. Add some strong adhesive, like tear and tape, to the lower section of the card front below the score line. Cut a 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 inch piece of black cardstock. This will become your card front. Line up the bottom of this piece with the bottom section of the card. This is the section where the adhesive is. Now go ahead and secure it to the card front. This piece of black cardstock will completely cover the piece with all of the score lines, but only the bottom section of this piece will be adhered to the card. That's how you create the easel. Congratulations! We've just created the base of an easel card. All right, now let's decorate it. So let's talk about how to make the beer mug, which will be used as the focal point for the front of this card. Cut a 2 3/4 by 3 1/4 inch piece of gray cardstock. Next, cut 3 pieces of crushed curry or some other type of yellow cardstock. Round all of the corners of the gray cardstock as well as the 3 pieces of crushed curry cardstock. You can use your own corner round punch or the detailed trio punch. Once you have all the corners rounded, sponge a bit of crushed curry ink around the edges of each of the 3 pieces of crushed curry cardstock. Next, take each of these 3 pieces and adhere them to the gray cardstock. You've just created the base of the mug. Now you can set this aside for now. Next, let's create the handle for the mug. Cut an oval shape that measures approximately 2 3/4 inches long. Use the framelit die that comes in the Up and Away Thinlit set to cut out the center of the oval. If you don't have that Thinlit die, you can also use another oval die that's just a little bit smaller so that you can cut off half of the oval shape. This will leave you a rounded handle for your mug. Adhere the handle to the side of the mug. Just a little tip, hold the mug over the front of your card as you secure the handle. This will help ensure the handle is not hanging off the side of the card. Once you have the handle secured, adhere the entire piece to the lower half of the black card front. Be sure to leave some room on the top of the card for the beer suds or the beer foam. Okay, now speaking of the beer foam, let's talk about how to make it. So for this card, we're going to cut out around 12 little cloud shapes from some white cardstock using the dies that come in the Up and Away Thinlit set. Once you have all the pieces cut out, sponge the edges of each of these shapes with a bit of crushed curry ink. Don't have this die set? Well, no worries. I have a few other ideas for creating the foam on the beer, which I will share a little bit later in this video. So for now, let's just focus on these shapes. Once you have sponged each of the suds, randomly adhere them to the top of the mug using dimensionals. You will start by adhering the suds across the top part of the mug. Then, as you start to add the second row, be sure to tuck and turn the little shapes as you add the layers in each row. So continue to add the little suds until you achieve the desired look. And that's it. It turns out pretty cool, hey? Now for the last part of this tutorial, I will show you how to keep this easel card popped up. So if you've never created an easel card before, they are so much fun, especially when they're popped up and standing open. So here's what you need to do to make that happen. First, we need to create the inside of the card. Cut a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of white cardstock. Stamp a greeting on the bottom part of this white piece using gray ink and adhere to the inside of your card. Grab 2 little cloud shapes, you know, those little shapes you use to create the suds. Open up the card and rest the bottom of the card front on the white cardstock so it looks like a tent or it's in that easel position. Once you have that positioned, adhere one of the little beer suds to the inside of the card just above the sentiment. Now adhere the other one next to it. Now let go of the card front and the card will rest against those little beer suds and stay open. Pretty cool, hey? Now your card can constantly be on display so everyone can admire it. How fun is that? Now you can also easily close this card simply by lifting up on the card front. The card will lay flat when closed, which makes it so easy for mailing. So let me share a few other beer mug card ideas with you. In particular, I want to talk about some different ways to create the beer suds. Now I just showed you how to use some of the Up and Away Thinlit dies, you know, the little clouds to create the suds, but you can also use regular circles or scallop circles to create the suds. So in this case, I decided to use different size circles. So I have 1 1/4 inch circles, 1 inch circles, and 3 1/4 inch circles. It's the exact same concept to create this card. So I created the mug in the exact same way that I just showed you. The only difference is that I added the circles on top instead of those little clouds. And on the inside, I actually changed it up just a little bit. I put my sentiment on the inside and popped that up instead of adding little suds to the inside of the card. Now you can also use scallop circles if you don't have regular circles. Either will work just great. Now the other idea I had to share is the use of embossing paste. So embossing paste, I have some shimmery white embossing paste here, and it's very easy to use. You just spread it on with a little palette knife until you achieve the desired look. And so in this case, I just kind of swirled it around to create the look of suds on the top of the beer. And then again, for this one, I just added a little oval shape on the bottom with my sentiment to hold it open. And again, you simply create the beer mug the exact same way I just shared, but instead of cutting out different shapes, spread on that white embossing paste. So as you can see, there are a variety of different possibilities for this card. So look around your craft room. I bet you have some fun shapes and supplies that you can use to make a card like this. Now you have some fun pop-up beer card designs that you can make with a variety of different supplies that you might already have on hand. So have fun with them. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to download the printable tutorial. You can find the link below this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it and sharing it with your friends. And leave a comment below to let me know what you enjoyed most about the video and the project shared here today. Have fun getting creative, take care, and I'll see you soon.